underground to bring it in. To Spratt. Oh, out in front of Cat French. That's another turnover. Hills. Oh, an outside in. A loopy one to Hernandez. That's a score. Well, Hills, such a great club from Sydney. Never really created a big push in terms of representative teams. They've always been a league first and then a representative club second. They create and they produce great players. Probably the most famous production is Alex Alamados, I believe, played for Hills. See Sarah Perkins with the disc at the moment. Slow to prepare their offense. They signal ready now, and Perkins to pull. Right, there's a bullet through to Amit. Up high. It's Leuterden. Ferguson. Back to Downey. The Miriam variety. Ferguson will get the reset. It bounces through the hands, a tough one to handle. Even though it's not raining at the moment, the ground still wet, heavy. And now an outside in. It's going to drop. And another throw to the end zone. Well, that's Matilda Slade. And 3 in a row for Hills. They're out of the blocks like far lap. They explode into this game. Ably coached by Simon Wood on screen there. The recently retired Simon Wood, who is also coaching 12 games this weekend. There's a full load for 2 teams, not 1, 2. The teams will bring it in and they'll talk it over. Try and figure out what changes they need to make. I don't imagine there's much Hills need to change right now. Pressure fully on underground. Imagine these teams would be too familiar with one another. Much be a focus on let's do our game and then let's see what their game is like and then maybe make some adjustments. At the moment, seems like Hill's game plan is working. In the underground, game plan is not. So Matilda Slade, who threw that goal, fairly tall young woman. Looks like she stands about 5'10". Always hard to guard receivers who are tall, and hard to guard throwers who are tall. Obviously, the long levers give them reach, and when that reach can create angles that shorter players cannot, it certainly creates an opportunity. A lot of time between points at the moment. Underground, in no hurry to play. The team official on the field at the moment for the underground team. Still giving instructions, he's slow to clear the field. So the ball goes just over halfway. The throw in the middle to Downey of the Grace variety. Over the top to Spratt. Played so well. So did Ayden in the last game we saw her. And Ayden going to go to Spratt. Spratt over the other side of the field. And now the around backhand to Bailey. It looks pretty good. The throw by Parashaki. A nice chair underground. They break the duck egg. A big thanks to Simon Wood for providing the team list so that we can call names of the receivers as they touch the disc for Hills. Much appreciated. Well, this is heading towards the placing matches. This is going to figure out the future. I believe this is a quarter-final within the women's Division 2. It's actually a semi-final, one further. So Underground have had themselves a great tournament, sneaking into the top 4. They came 5th, one of the last times out. And now they find themselves improving upon those results. Hills, always in the top, have won in the past. I believe are the defending champions. That is a humongo pull. Goldstiver in the middle. We'll reset it. Geisler goes across to Ash. Goldstiver. Geisler again through to Jean. They're on the way through the hands of Flora Lam. Nice break back to Goldstiver. To Rosalie Ash on the far sideline. And again, Lamb getting in the cup, trying to create some penetration, potentially get that disc past the containment of the underground zone. Nice throw around the edge. Jen through, Goldstiver looks for it, gets it with a pump fake. Emily Goldstiver manipulates the defense. That's a score. It's Shirley Quatch with the catch. Nice offense by Hills. You can see they're just understanding that manipulating the zone is all they really needed to do there. In the other Division 2 women's semi, it looks like Branch v Manly. Well, Hills up 4-1 in this game. Another break here is real problem stations for Underground. Nice outside in by Hernandez. Catch with confidence. French and Downey combine. Oh, that's a huge throw. Bailey in the area. Flick by Grace Downey. She just, it was no more than a flick of the wrist, and this just took off down the field. He caught everyone by surprise. She got every piece of it. Throw back to the middle of the field. Poon. Poon going to go with a flick against Eaton. Even though she is diminutive in stature, she is quite the threat in the air. Throw into hard pressure, and Perkins tromps on the disc and then jacks a big one, but Downey reads it the best. Slight tacoing, but the disc just received the boot of Sarah Perkins, perhaps affecting that throw. And Perkins just completely poaching off now. French on an island is going to go to Bailey, who goes up big with a big catch. Bailey looking for the reset. It's Eaton, and it's Lim who jumps in front. It'll be Hernandez to pick it up. And Lim, the block getter, will find Perkins. Back to Hernandez. And Hernandez is going to go for an outside in. That is always inside out. She puts her hands up in the air. Had she spun 45 degrees to the left, it actually would have been a really good throw, but Bailey going to Ruby Rounds. And Perkins to pick up. So, game that was so clinical from Hills is a little bit scrappy. Hernandez, Perkins under heavy pressure from Rounds. And Perkins, we can hear her say, no, you're good. She's just a little bit of contact. And Perkins is, well, she's as tough as they come. A nice throw to Poon. Back to Perkins. With a nice around break. And there is a big, big throw. A huge throw to the back at the end zone. Gemma Garland. Ambition. A strange offensive set. And Eaton. Unable to get that one. Two Hills defenders in the area. Hernandez gets it in play, goes to Perkins, and it's Garland now going long. She tried to throw the goal. She says, maybe I'll try and catch one instead. That one works a little bit better. And that is the 5th score of the game for Hills. That's another break. And I think Coach Simon Wood of Hills will be happy with this start. This team out to an early lead. We've seen all throughout the tournament that leads are the best way of winning. Perkins with the disc in hand. So going to play 2 points in a row. Perkins signaling ready again. Underground slow. Team official from underground again, slow on the field. And Perkins. It's a flat one towards the far sideline. Make it roughly to that brick mark line. It's Ferguson. And Hills bring his own. Reset back to Downey of the Miriam variety. Ferguson. Through, can't find Loiterden. It was a sharp throw. Perkins. He's going to look for Slade. High stall just to the end zone to Garland, who drops it. I think it was in. Had she caught it. As the Rayner-Slade matchup. Good matchup. Rayner, who was such a physically influential receiver in the last game. Slade looks to be of similar height. So now, Underground have to work out of a really tight zone that is already set, and Slade benefits from the hard work of the Hills Cup. And they start to get it through the hands. Goes through the hands of Poon. Geisler throwing that one. Downey trying to get it into play a little bit faster. Ferguson around to Loiterden. Ferguson's going to step in it towards Rayner. It's a good option to go in her direction. Amit combining with Rayner. And Rayner goes for the high release across to Rogers. Zucker's in the area. A nice score. Underground get their second for 5-2. An identification of space on the field, across the field throw from Rayner to Rogers, eventually to Zucker. Special shout out to everyone joining us from wherever they happen to be in the world. So an outside in, rolling backhand. Sharkey getting it some of the way down the field. Ash, and a nice catch by Lamb. The receivers very, very deep. Ash. Out in front of Quach. To Jean. They continue with flow to Hernandez. And Hernandez for the score. Flora Lamb. And that's Hills. They get a bit of flow down that far sideline, and just one cut after another. Lamb seeing the space, and then Hernandez getting it to her. So that didn't work for Underground. We've got to play offense now and have a think about that defense a little bit more. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to break this Hills team. And they're going to have to do it multiple times. So Hernandez, the assist maker, assist thrower, is the one who pulls, gets us down. Howard, loitered in. Rogers is there, and so is Downey. Rogers gets it this time, loitered in. Loitered into Rogers, and a flat throw in the area is Zucker. Can't get there. Hills get the disc. So Hernandez to bring it to the line. And the Underground defenders daring Hernandez to throw it deep. She obliges. And Evelyn Foster unable to track it down, the throw, the backhand. The other side of the field where Foster started. And Downey will bring the offense into motion. Loitered in through her hands. Hernandez will go fast with an outside in towards Sarah Perkins. Perkins going to have to work against two. Reads it the best and then flips it to the goal to Huang. Sarah Perkins has just whispered in their ear and completely convinced them that it was going in the opposite direction. 7-2 the score. Perkins an excellent player. Both Howard and Downey. They misread it. And Perkins, who has seen that before, knew exactly where that disc was going. And for those of you at home might be wondering, how do you know where the disc is going, right? It flies. It's unpredictable. It doesn't go up and down. It goes side to side. And what Perkins would have been doing there is she would have been reading the lower edge of the disc. Edge of the disc is pointing down. That's the way the frisbee will go. These Ultra Stars that we play with by Discraft are neutrally stable. That means that the angle that is given out of the hand is the way they will normally stay. So that one there being outside in, what we call outside in or hyzer, is always going to come back to Perkins. A good pull. Underground looking for answers at the moment. French with the no-look fake. Will go to Downey, to Spratt. And didn't Spratt know it? She just, her head flops back and unimpressed. Chow for Hills. A nice undercut by Lim. And then Lim's going to go outside in, back to Chow. It's too far. French walking to it for Underground. Bailey getting it a long way over. But Hills maintain composure and containment. Spratt, the air bouncing backhand is going to go across to Sharkey. And Sharkey Can't get it past Slade, who read it really well out of the hand. There's Garland. Garland with a bit of a trot. Gets it to Geisler. Geisler with the crossfield throw to Slade. Slade walking it. An easy flip for a Hills goal, and that's halftime. 30 minutes gone. Possibly the first or the fastest halftime we've seen. Hills waiting for no one. They just have come out and thrown a blitz onto this underground team. We're going to go to some highlights and look at some replays from the action of the first half. And we'll be back with the second half of this Div 2 women's match here from the Eastern Ultimate Championships for 2022.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
What's your record this weekend?
Well, welcome back to the second half. Hills playing Underground. Hills of Sydney, Underground of Canberra. And this game is, well, Hills just blitzing it. really surprised Underground, I think, with the ferocity and the precision of their play. I don't think that Underground were totally expecting what's going to happen here. So far, they've struggled to find answers in the half-time. Coach Simon Wood of Hills really emphasising, firstly, keep doing what you're doing, because obviously it's working. You don't want to fix what's not broken. And he also mentioned the Hill zone and some adjustments there and wanting to allow certain things and then stop other things, a slight tweak for Hills. So it will be Downey to pull for Underground. And the outside in, she exclaims as it nearly flogs us. Geisler to go from the sideline. Has the outcut. Instead, elects to go across the field. It's caught well. Cleaning up a little bit of a wayward throw was Clark. Back to Geisler, who's on an island now. Hills very deep, a long way away from the handler, Geisler. I anticipate this is going to go to 15 and go there very quickly if things continue. A violation call. Looks like on Flora Lamb. Sometimes these things happen. You just move a minute, or not a minute, but a count early. So you think that just gets tapped in, and actually you have to go from 0 to 100 very quickly to keep playing defense or keep playing offense. So Ash, the good-looking forehand, will get it to Lamb, and then the flip to Clark. A hard catch to make behind Clark. And now Hills bring that zone. We'll see if the adjustments get made. And Howard. And Spratt, who used that forehand to great effect. Ash, who threw a great forehand. She gets that deep cut again. Elects not to go to it this time. Lamb. Cutting to the open side, it's too far in front of Lamb. Downey. Downey with a big backhand to Zaka. Oh, what a block by Goldstiver. Emily Goldstiver just showing some hops. Gets tackled by Rayner. Rayner and Goldstiver share a bit of a moment there. It was a forceful moment. Oh, out in front of Geisler. So Ferguson go back to Downey. Comes to Howard. Howard goes up and over to Downey. Ferguson. And now Howard. It's a little bit better from Underground. And now Rogers. Rogers with an outside in. It's a pretty good throw over to Downey, who catches confidently at full strength above her head, and Amit drops that one. Goldstiver walking to the disc. And Goldstiver, what a throw. Lamb has to go. Ferguson. Howard. Goldstiver again, another block. She's winning in the battle against Rayner at the moment. That's 2 to Goldstiver. It's a great matchup. Rayner, slightly taller, young, athletic. Goldstiver, the veteran. Ash, looking for guys like. Miriam variety of Downey picks that up and doesn't get too far. Only going to turn it over again, and now again to the end zone. Lamb, this time she gets that one. That is the ninth score, Hills. They look like they're just a class above underground. Underground, definitely they have the talent. You can tell that the pieces are there. They're just a little bit rough, a little bit raw, a little bit new. Let's see. You could imagine very easily, in fact, this game being much closer in the future. Underground continue their development, continue to grow and figure out this weird sport that we play. Experience is important. Saw Goldstiver make that big block before. Goldstiver has been playing for longer than I have. And I joined and have since retired in the time that Goldstiver is still going around. So this will be the brace variety of Downey. Spratt. And Spratt gets point blocked. Oh, what a play there by Poon. Poon, who is giving up what looks like to be a foot. Perkins. Looking. And Eaton nearly gets that off of Hernandez. Hernandez. Poon in the way. Perkins gets the reset. And then it's going to go with a big outside in backhand. Down the field, it bounces, it bobbles. Foster back inboard to Lim. And then looking for that forehand. He's going to try and go to Hernandez instead, but close range forehands are a killer. So hard to do, so hard to control. They often come out of the hand pretty quick. Not leaving the receiver much time to adjust and catch. And Downey, excellent throw towards Spratt. Hernandez walking to it. Perkins very wide on this near side. She's just disappearing out of frame on the left. And now the reset to Chow. Back to Hernandez. Poon is the intended receiver, but Spratt has other ideas and D's it. Excellent defense by Spratt. Comes from deep to get that, and now she has the frisbee. There's Downey. Downey will go with a loopy one. Defender in the area. Bailey nearly catches it behind the back. Perkins gives the disc a bit of a clean. Trying to get the rim as dry as possible. Get some extra purchase. Looks like it never came back in, and Perkins looks somewhat sheepish. Looks like it will be, yeah, it will be a turn. Perkins looking like the cat that made the canary on that one. Maybe less smug and more guilty though. Spratt splits the defenders, the bid is there, and that's Underground's third after quite a few turns and knocking on the door a couple of times. They finally decide to go in through the window. 9-3. Both Perkins and Poon, by the looks of it, in the area. Poon gets just turned around, and that's all the gap that Grace Downey needed. Certainly, Simon Wood is actually going to pull Rachel Poon back onto the line. Sticking with much the same line by the looks of it, a few variations. So Rayner will pull for underground. Just figuring out what they're going to do here. Basic calls. It's like Fiona now giving some instructions. Sure, Perkins arm in the air at the other end, signaling ready. Geisler stops the roll. And then Slade. So Slade with the disc. And Slade unleashes one towards Perkins. Wow, what a throw by Matilda Slade. I think this is going to be her last year playing for the Hills. I figure we're going to see her in a GWS outform next year. She has far too much talent to be in Div 2 for long. She's going to find her way into the top flight very quickly, I think. Perkins with great read. You see her just drive in a little bit towards the disc there and then fade away at the last moment, driving the defender underneath it. It's little things like that that experienced players do that take sometimes years to develop. How do you practice something like that? Short of being in games and having discs thrown at you with a defender close on your heels, how do you learn to manipulate the defender, close the space, use your body to, you know, occupy a location on the field that then puts the defender in a disadvantageous position? There's some rain now returning, more of a drizzle. Hernandez the ball. It's going to float and give the Hills defense time to get down the field. 10-3 the score. And Downey will take possession for underground. Hills bring their zone again. There's Spratt to Ruby Rounds. Back to Spratt. And Spratt goes with that high release forehand. Been hard for teams to start. French with a flat one. Clark. Excellent block. Bit of a coming together between her and Bailey. It looks like there is a little bit of discussion. I imagine that there is going to be a foul call because the turnover was the result. Ash will go to the disc, and Hills will go to the diag. Interesting tactical innovation. Lamb to Hernandez with a big outside in. Looking for Emily Goldstiver down the stretch. Goldstiver too high. It's less than impressed with herself. French. Now to Ruby Rounds. Spratt back to French, who just drops it. Hernandez calling a horo, but it's a very late call. And then he's going to go towards Lamb, who's free. Is she in the end zone? She is. That's the 11th goal for Hills. Some 50 minutes gone. Comprehensive performance at the moment by this Hills Ultimate team. The Hills club is currently sitting undefeated across 8 games in 2 divisions. They are 8-0. Looking for this one to make it 9-0. call goes up.
Who's going that way?
And underground, another opportunity. Zaka looks to get it to Downey. And Downey with a pretty good throw to space. He's going to put it out there. That's Foster. Downey giving Rayner way too much to do. Even the athletic Rayner could get past Foster, who read it all the way. Matilda Slade going to the disc. We notice the spacing. It's a little bit shorter, some 18 metres instead of 20. Matilda Slade has put that one out. He brought back into bounds and back into play directly in front of my tent. Looks like Howard sporting the blue patella tendon tape. Downey. Miriam Downey. Amit. Had a tough game, has Amit. She was good earlier today when we covered underground. This game has been hard. Matilda Slade gets the disc back in play and bounces off the hands. Cynthia Huang. Downey again. Gives the disc a bit of a wipe, gets it as dry as possible, even though not many things out there are going to be dry anymore. Howard. He's going to try and get it to Downey. Downey goes with dominator movement. And there is a pick call. Perkins getting hung up there. Looked like a Rogers she was trying to guard. Downey will have to try it again. This is tapped in. Downey. Ooh, with a bit of a misread. Can't get it to Howard. Fernandez. So Huang. Fernandez gets up the line. And now the deep cut is there. Hernandez is going to box it up and ship it out. And Evelyn Foster will receive the package gladly. Something we've had plenty of practice of during lockdown. On shopping, groceries, and well, that deep throw. 12-3 the score.
That's what I get.
Bit of a timeout by the looks. Underground. Electing to bring it in and talk it over. Great performance. Great performance by the Surf Club. Nearly 10 points up, 9 points up now. Can't argue with the quality of the field. Huddle together. laughs and jokes and some woods and instructions. Underground huddle, much more subdued. Notice the body language, just the heads are not down, but they're dropped a little bit quiet, a bit introspective. It's tough like games like this that you can often learn a lot about yourself. What kind of player are you? What kind of player do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of player that continues to fight no matter what it says on the scoreboard, that gives their all? Or don't let that, what is affectionately known as a shellacking, affect you and bring your confidence down. And doubt yourself.
1, 2, 3,
Something the best players have in common is that sense of self-belief and confidence. They believe that no matter what the situation, they can get the job done. And I believe it's always in tight games and hard situations that that belief is first takes root and then sprouts before growing into full form. I think I might stop waxing poetical and come back to the game. Matilda Slade with the disc in hand. She's been favouring the forehand. I want to see what she can do with a backhand, and well,
what has been an impressive game thus far. I think Matilda Slade also sees the funny side of that one. Can't help but think that maybe I've jinxed her a little. And it's French. And the French has had a tough game. And French getting underground off that sideline. Downey. Go to Spratt. Back to French. Big fake. French to Spratt, who was through the wall for a moment there. Underground had broken that containment, and then Hill Zone was able to adjust. The high release outside in, it pops up, and that is a block. Hills get it back. Playing. Bobbled, but then she caught it. So Lim. Slade. And you imagine she'll throw it. It's a good looking flick. Spratt! Oh, Spratt has made an absolute mile. Talk about heart. Spratt to Ayden. It's too far. Slade benefits and then gets Hills away. Chow over to Gemma Garland. Back to Slade. And Slade goes outside in, but this time it's too short. French quickly to Spratt. Ayden on the inside, and Ayden will go with a big backhand towards Ruby Rounds, working against Slade. Slade does enough to pressure Rounds. And Slade picks it up for Hills. Nice throw to Poon, to Garland, out to Lim. The deep cut's there. Lim decides not to throw it. Wang. Lim again. No, the outside in deeper. Ayden in the area. So strong defensively is Ayden. The disc is in, and French gets it back to Downey. Spratt trying to work in the middle of that zone. Cutting in and out, and then the outside in towards Bailey. Gets a little bit crushed by Matilda Slade. Garland. Lim and Garland for a moment had a complete
opposite of a moment. No understanding between them. French will get it over to Spratt, to Ruby Rounds. Spratt, the throw that's behind her, no good. And that's Geisler for the goal. So Hills score their 13th, the gap now 10. It's a rough game at the moment. Hills just continuing to grind and fight these points out and increase their lead on the scoreboard. And so Hills find themselves 2 points away from winning this game. Some 8 minutes to play on the clock. You have to fancy they get there. Goldstiver, signals ready. She's going to lead this D line for Hills. Underground. Now signaling ready. Alex Rogers, hand in the air. So Goldstiver to pull. Backhand, it'll get halfway between, most of the way actually to the brick mark. Ferguson to Downey. Hills who have stuck with his zone almost exclusively all game. Feeling that Underground really haven't created any answers, and Downey's just going to send one to Rogers. Goldstiver. Goldstiver was headed to Nelson Bay when she probably should have headed to Williamstown. And then Rogers, though, the disc is always in front of her, was able to play it. And Underground through the hands of Miriam Downey, the captain, the founder. As that Underground O-line made their way off the field, joking, saying that they only need a 9-point run. So nice to see that the sense of humour hasn't faded, even if their hopes of winning this game are extinguished. So Spratt to pull for Underground. Perkins. A confident strut to the disc, and the throw that comes out is exceptionally wobbly, but it works out. Lim. Perkins coming across the field. Has Foster. Decides not to go to her. Goes to Gemma Garland instead. Gets it off the sideline to Hernandez. And Hernandez going to try and get it to Perkins. Perkins in between two, catches, tries to jump it in, does. Underground players signal in. That's Hills for 14. Game to 15. Hernandez really just dropping it in there between the Underground bracket. Spratt coming a little bit. Not close enough to affect any kind of pressure. Well, Hills are looking good at the moment to defend their national title, go back to back. to a good start. Not beaten this weekend, and they're not going to lose this game either. Even if Underground start to put together the mother of all runs. Time Cap's going to have other ideas. Perkins with the disc in hand, signaling ready. Miriam Downey on the other side, giving instructions to her offensive players. And Perkins gonna rip a really nice backhand. Ferguson back to Downey. Downey into contested traffic. Chow gets a block. And Slade is going to go backhand. Slade throws the assist. That's it. We're done. Hills win 15-4. It's a blowout here. Underground were valiant, but they were well short in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with another game here shortly from the Eastern Ultimate Championships.
TV.